Welcome, Sportage owners. Today I'm going to show you how to install the JB4 in there. This is my 2024 Kia Sportage SX Prestige Hybrid, and have confirmed that the JB4 does indeed work with this engine and hybrid setup. The JB4 is a piggyback tuner that will talk to the car's ECU or computer, and there's several different maps installed telling the ECU to change the air and fuel ratio of the engine and also increase boost from your turbo. This will instantly give you 40 extra wheel horsepower, so that means there's more to the crank, and 60 more pounds of torque. The good folks at Burger Tuning told me that the JB4 will work on the hybrid and mild hybrid Sportage as long as it has the 1.6 liter turbo SmartStream engine. So let's see what's inside the box here. Alright, we got a few stickers, a keychain, the JB4 itself, and the OBD2 port connector. This is the version 3 JB4, which will work with the Kia Hyundai Genesis systems running 1.6 liter turbos. I opted for the Bluetooth connector. And what's nice about this is that the Bluetooth is already installed. On my Stinger, I had to install the Bluetooth adapter myself, which is pretty simple. You just unscrew the 4 screws here and then attach the dongle to the harness inside and then screw everything back in. Okay, so first we need to do is pass this cable through the firewall. This cable connects to the OBD2 port here inside the cabin. So this will have to go through this grommet here. Then the output would be somewhere over here. I'm going to use this fishing tool here, which is a long stick really. Tape the connector at the end and then fish it through the grommet right here. So the best way to do this is to go from the side here. Instead of punching any holes through the grommet itself, it's easy just to push this aside and then make the fishing tool go right through here. So as you can see, I stuck this flathead screwdriver on the side of the grommet, and if you pry it to the other side, you can see what's on the other end. Now we're going to fish the cable right through there. Alright, cable has been fished through this end. Okay, now in the engine bay, that's the stick right there. And the cable should be that right there. Yep. Now I'm going to use a clothes hanger to fish the cable towards me. Right down there. Now that I have the cable, the tape is still attached to the bottom there. So I'm going to use one of these knives that could extend and then cut the tape that way. Just be careful you don't cut the cable itself. And here is the cable. Inside the car again, this is what it looks like with the OBD2 port connected and the cable going through the grommet. I made it so that the cable goes towards the top of the grommet so that this cable is not visible when getting in the car. Here's the cable now, fully extended. This probably was the hardest part of this whole process, fishing the cable through. The rest should be easy. We're going to leave this here for now, and then later on we're going to connect it to the JB4 and then do some cable management. What we're going to do next is remove this intake funnel so we have better room to work, and you do so by removing these two clips, and then this pulls out. Next, we have to determine where to put the JB4. I found this little crevice right in there that will work perfectly. But if you figured out a better place, please let me know. There's my JB4 tucked away in there, and the Bluetooth adapter. At some point, we're going to tie wrap all this, make it nice and secure. So there are 4 harnesses that we'll need to attach. This small one here, this will attach to the OBD2 port connector. Then we have the mass airflow sensor connection here. And then 2 harnesses right below here. 1 and 2. The OBD2 cable that we fished through, I made it run through the rear of the engine, through here. There it goes. Then I tie wrapped it to this harness here, make it go underneath, and finally connected right here. Next, we'll connect the mass airflow sensor. Next, we'll attach these 2 harnesses. All that's left to do in the engine bay now is to tidy everything up and then reassemble the intake funnel. Now the JB4 is fully installed in the engine bay. So just the way it is, the JB4 is defaulted to map 1, which means that if you put 91 octane in here, you'll feel some extra power. But because I opted for the Bluetooth version, I can now connect my phone to it and change it to whatever map I want, such as map 2, which utilizes 93 octane, and feel even more power. For even more power, you have map 3, which allows you to use E85 fuel with a mixture of 93 octane. There's also map 6, where you could take this to a tuner shop and have them create a custom tune just for your Sportage. So if you have the Bluetooth device, the next thing you need to do is to download the JB4 mobile app, create an account, log in, and then have it connect to the Bluetooth of your JB4. From there, you could change to the various maps, create logs, and also see digital gauges. I hope you like this tutorial. I'll leave a link in the description of where to get your JB4 so you too can enjoy the extra power. Until next time.